by Entirely Media. I am your co-host, Mr. Unpopular Opinion, aka Kyle Murph, and I'm with my guys, Darion Robinson, and the OG Mr. Out Cold, Chris Lucci.
Hey, thank you for that, Murph. I'm now Mr. Unpopular Opinion as well. In a minute, the whole panel is going to be the unpopular panel. So let's go, opinion. Let's get
No, not me.
right, except the guy that holds the clips, right?
What a great way to get started. I do, on behalf of Entirely, we want to give a massive shout out to the voice of college basketball, right? Because once again, he's proving that he is a Hall of Famer both on the court and off the court. And just 86, a young 86, Dick Vitale is facing a demoralizing diagnosis of melanoma in both his lungs and liver. And guys, this would make his fifth battle with cancer in just a decade. But yeah, true to form, obviously Dickie V, good old Dickie V, isn't looking at the odds, right? He's looking at the track record so far for his life, with a perfect 4-0 record against the disease so far. Is unwavering and really undefeated mentality is the ultimate display of hold on now. I got the sound effect, chat. I got the sound effect. Hold on now. What was that? hold on. What is that? No. Holy cow. Okay, well, it was supposed to be awesome, baby, but geez, either way, guys, that spirit that he shared for decades has been truly amazing. So my first question for the panel, opening it up, obviously Dickie V has spent his life inspiring us from the sidelines, and he's done an amazing job doing so. What's one word from both you, Kyle, and Chris, to describe the energy that he brings and is bringing to this fight with melanoma?
One word that pops in my head immediately is iconic. I mean, he's iconic. He made college basketball, like especially the March Madness, like very palatable, made it fun, made it exciting. Small plays, he was able to bring that energy and charisma to the game. So knowing that he's 5-0 now when it comes to battling against cancer, like it's not surprising because of that energy and the way he lives his life. It's just amazing. I'm glad he's healing, he's doing better. But iconic is probably the number one word that pops in my head when I hear his name.
Love that. What do you think, Chris? You went mute. You gave too much energy. Pushed out the mic.
He's a PT player, baby. He's prime time. That's what he is. He's a big time player, and he's bringing the pain, bringing the funk. No, man, Dickie V has always been a fighter. And growing up in Detroit, people don't know it. He coached at the University of Detroit, and he coached Spencer Haywood, who actually is who opened the door for going hardship to be able to go to the NBA out of high school. Dickie V did so much long before he was on that microphone, just opening doors and being a pioneer, Murph's favorite word. So, man, prayers are up for Dickie V, and I pray that he wins this battle. I expect him to win this battle, and to just continue to keep on keeping on and continue to to keep knocking down barriers as he's done his entire life thus far. So, yeah. Love you, Dickie V.
I love it. I love it. Word for me is undefeated, right? 4-0, perfect 4-0. With this being the fifth battle, I think that same, as we said earlier, that awesome baby energy that he's been given for a very long time, for decades. It's good to see that his spirits are still high. I know we were researching this a little bit before the pod. I think he's trying to shift all of his focus to a cancer gala next month. So really, that's just proof in the pudding that this is way more than just basketball, right? Fighting for himself, inspiring others, and then really just showing us that, like, no matter what the battle is or how tough it is, that always go at that challenge and face it with total confidence. And so I really like it. I love it. Wish him the best of luck. Rob Dove, again, thanks for always tuning in with us and checking in. Great to have you, at least for a little bit that we did.
Yep.
Let's go into some good basketball. So what's up with the Hall of Fame debate here?
Yeah, so the list of active players is nearing legend status and growing and the math behind it is fascinating. According to Basketball Reference Hall of Fame probability tracker, there are 23 current active players in the NBA with greater than 50% chance to be inducted into Naismith Memorial Hall of Fame basketball Hall of Fame. From the ones that we already know, like the obvious ones, LeBron, Steph, and rising stars like SGA and Luka, the league is currently overflowed with historic talent. This list serves as a reminder that we are currently witnessing probably one of the most statistical eras of dominant basketball ever. So my question for you guys, if you had to pick only one player from under 100%, like LeBron, James Harden, who are the ones 100%? LeBron, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and James Harden. The group, if you had to pick one of them from the group, who would you bet your life in making it, and who are you taking?
Well, yeah. As popular opinion, it sounds like definitely Jokic. You know what I mean? Clearly.
Oh my God.
Nikola Jokic. I'm going to bet my life that Nikola Jokic will be in the Hall of Fame.
I mean,
rightfully so. Right?
Yes. I mean,
yeah. I don't see the argument at all.
No, he's being a jackass.
I mean, you know, I'm just making sure my take is good. You feel me? For all the fucking haters. Okay, haters, he's Hall of Fame. Awesome. With a capital A. There we go.
So I guess I got a second question on this list that are here, because we know we all have kind of mixed feelings about how the Hall of Fame is actually, people are inducted in there. Are there any names on here that you would take off?
That's a better take.
That's a high probability.
Oh yeah. Okay. Donovan Mitchell. Karl Anthony Towns. I almost said his name. I've been an advocate of him.
But no, I don't. Go ahead.
Were we thinking Jimmy Butler?
No, I'm away from Murph. I think I know what Murph going with.
Damn. PG? Y'all were going PG and Dame, probably?
No, I'll go Kyle Lowry. I don't know why that.
He has an NBA champ. He has an NBA champ.
He has an NBA championship, yes. But is he a top 25 point guard of all time?
Yeah. And other than the ring, he doesn't have anything else to attach to his name. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Kyle Lowry got to come off.
Well, he's an amazing basketball player. Don't get me wrong. He's definitely impactful wherever he's at, and whether he's a role player, leadership, the leadership now on the Sixers. So I think he's an amazing basketball player. But
so here's what you have to look at. Here's my stake on this. Basketball is a business, and there's 30, soon to be 32 teams in the NBA. And the Toronto Raptors have one championship that exists. Some teams have none. If you have one championship that exists, the featured player or players from that championship are going to be in the Hall.
See, I didn't even think about it that way, because he was a key role for the Raptors. I'm not going to disrespect him that much, but it's just when I see his name as an 85% chance to get into the Hall of Fame, it's like, wow.
I mean, more than Shea. They got him over Shea.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
they got him over Kawhi Leonard, though, who has 2 championships.
They got him over.
No, they don't. I'm sorry. Kawhi's 12. I'm tripping.
Which is crazy.
Well, being over Draymond's kind of. Actually, I'm not even gonna say kind of. Draymond needs to be up that list more. Like, he should definitely. I don't see why Draymond's not over Dame and PG. Let's go with that, because neither one of them have won anything.
Draymond should be the top 7. Actually, he should be part of the 100% crew. If Curry's there, Draymond should be there.
Why isn't Klay higher?
Winning? So now you're going with the winning, because you're not
saying. No, you actually brought up a good point. Like the role that they played. I mean, there are people who said that the dynasty wouldn't even exist without Draymond. So,
Right.
like the role that he played on the Warriors, I know he has a little bit of a narrative now, a negative narrative now, but the role that he played in the Warriors, he was the motor of that team.
Right.
Yeah, but he also has a DPOY though. Like
Yeah, that's
I'm
what I'm saying.
partial. I'm partial to guys that have individual accolades, MVPs, DPOY, scoring leader, that kind of thing to attach to their name. Like, what the does Kyle Lowry have? You know, to be over a what is it, four-time champion, DPOY. I think Draymond has 5 all defensive teams, the steals leader, et cetera, et cetera. So I mean, like, what is this list? Matter of fact, who made this?
Right.
The active players. Only odds. I don't know who that is. Do you think Anthony Davis should be over Giannis though?
No.
But they're about the same. So I guess that's just alphabetical then. It has to be. But either way, I don't think it should be the same either.
As much as I respect Damian Lillard, I feel like he's a little too high too.
I'm trying to see why he's over Kawhi. Again, why is Kawhi not higher?
I mean, to me, I like Chris was saying earlier, like it's a business, so there's a lot of its popularity and the impact you made on just the NBA, not so much just individual stats and championships. I think a lot of his popularity.
So then my question for you guys, and I loved him for a long stretch, kind of until he got to Cleveland. Is Kevin Love a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
Why?
I think he played a major role on both teams, on the Cavs and on the goddamn Heat, but he just got outshadowed by the talent that he was playing. The Cavs a little bit different because he had a lot of mental issues that was happening and all that good stuff. But Kevin Love, before he played with these dominant players that he played with, like he was Mr. Double-Double. He was a great power forward. He's arguably one of the best power forwards in the league. So I just don't understand the disrespect that Kevin Love gets so much.
Who disrespects Kevin Love?
I mean, by saying, did you say he shouldn't be on here, or are you surprised that he's?
No. I just asked you guys, is he a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he's a Hall of Famer because it's almost the same thing. Him and Chris Bosh were balling before it's the thing, man. When you get with LeBron, it's tough to really kind of do your thing. You have to take a step back, and you have to, not only that, you have to play a particular way.
Yeah.
And yes, he played, both of them had a major role in Miami versus Cleveland, but the shine was gone, right? It was like, oh man, I can do that. I'm averaging 17 points, 18 points, whatever the case may be, where they were at statistically. But you got to take a step back when you're playing with LeBron. So that's really part of it. But I think prior to that, individually, if both of those guys never played with LeBron, then I think they would both be like in that 90 percentile for sure Hall of Famers if they just continued their careers out. Now, maybe they don't get a ring, but statistically,
they were both franchise players.
For sure.
They just played with LeBron. So
I agree with that. I mean, my thing is we're seeing it this year, like did we see it this year, or am I tripping off graphics? Was Blake Griffin supposed to be in this class, or is he next class? He's next class, right?
Next class. I think a couple pods ago we were talking about he hasn't hit the time frame yet.
Oh, okay. I feel like if he gets a nod, then yeah, Kevin Love surely has to get in there.
Oh, yeah.
Facts.
I like that a lot. Cool, good topic. What's up with Klay Thompson in Dallas, Chris?
So Klay Thompson's moved to Dallas in 2024. It was, most people thought it was going to be the missing piece for a championship run. That obviously Luka, Kyrie looked like you had the pieces, to make a strong run. But 2 years later, the landscape obviously has changed. It looks really unrecognizable. And following a season that they went 26-56, the tank off is on. Man, suddenly Klay's future is in question. So despite having that 1 year, $17.5 million, which could easily be bought out, the 36-year-old sharpshooter isn't making any promises. his change on a dime comment isn't just cliche, it is a reflection of Dallas's tenure that saw him go from playing alongside a superstar to rebuilding roster with a rookie. So my opening question is, that rookie being Cooper Flagg, do you think the Mavericks should keep Klay as a veteran mentor for Cooper, or is it better for both sides to go ahead and find new homes? I mean, Klay may be going with a veteran team and the Mavs filling that spot with another young guy and just kind of going through that rebuilding process.
I'll take this. I love Klay, but I think where he's at now, especially with his contract being 17.5, something like that, almost 18. I think it's time for a new home. I think that's the only thing that makes sense really for both sides, right? Because Dallas seems to be in a full scale fucking rebuild behind Cooper, right? Like they finished 26 and 56. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's first of all, that's I didn't know it was that bad. That's crazy. But then to keep someone that's 36 years old on a 17.5 expiring contract, like I mean, Chris would probably tell you the same thing because he's in this realm. Like, plus you're like get rid of that. Plus he's taking valuable minutes away from a young core that could be coming in. That one is going to need to be able to develop alongside Cooper, and plus you're going to have Kyrie coming back, and I think that's really the only mentor that he would need. At this time, I don't think I don't think Klay's necessarily the best mentor to be able to expand his game. And so I think, while Klay's mentorship may be to some value for some people, some teams, I just think that his game right now really would fit more into someone that's trying to compete or contend, right? Someone that needs, a couple threes to get hot real quick to just push momentum in critical moments, or maybe that, kind of like the Heat had with like a Mike Miller when they won. Even though he wasn't nearly as old, but someone that could fill a little bit of a shooting void. I don't know. I think if Dallas prioritizes flipping that contract this summer, just to get draft assets, maybe some more defensive pieces, things that would truly complement Cooper, I think that would be probably the best, more fresh start for both timelines.
Does the league see him as value still? I mean, who from that description, who would want him? I mean, I personally think he should stay, but just I don't think really people want to sign a used to be sharpshooter at the age of 36. And I don't think I think as the Mavs, like I know he's taken. We've seen how quickly a team can go from last to first with Detroit. So. Mm-hmm. You've seen that happen, and then they added a sharpshooter in Duncan Robinson. They see how so having somebody like Klay Thompson, who obviously is a step behind from what he used to be, but still a smart defender, a 4-time champion, can go off for 60 with 11 dribbles. So he can could. So it's just
but could.
Good.
Before, previously. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, but he's good for. He's good to make some shots for you and make the right play. I'm not saying you got to give him 30, 40 minutes a game, but at the same time, I don't think he's so much disvalued on this team. Who having Klay Thompson in your ear to talk to you about, this is what you have to do, or we're talking about the pace, or hey, we watch Cooper Flagg play. That's crazy. That's called Cooper Flagg play, and you see that he kind of goes too fast, or he's moving too fast and makes the wrong play. Having that type of veteran in your ear to kind of guide you on top of having another champion and Kyrie, I don't see that being a problem. I think it's more. Go ahead. No, I'm done.
I don't know, Chris. Tell me if I'm wrong. I think there is I wouldn't say need, but there is a desire for someone like Klay still, and I think Detroit actually could benefit from having him.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You spot on. I mean, he'd be great in Detroit because I think, Klay's always been a spot-up shooter, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. Very few dribbles. But having a guy that can still potentially stretch the floor, not being asked to do a lot, like he used to be asked to defend the best player also, right? So them knees ain't those knees can't do that work right now, you know what I mean, defensively. Like it used to do. So
you ain't got the mega knees, Kyle.
Right, you know what I mean? You feel me? So that being said, if he can just really be in the corner, a threat, making the floor stay spaced, because he is there, and he is a legendary 3-point shooter, spacer, and an organization that's winning, a good organization like Detroit. I think he could flourish. You know what I mean? And I think, and it's crazy because they're young, but that youth would give him life, if you will. The way they play, they tough, they physical, they're fun. You know what I mean? They're winning. They're on the rise. They believe in themselves. They're kind of like, a little bit of bad boys from the standpoint, like, you guys were laughing at us just a minute ago, and now we're here. I think he'd be great there. And then in the playoff runs, right, that leadership of being able to talk through things in the locker room with Cade and others would just be incredibly invaluable. And then still, get out there and knock down crucial threes, right? Like, think Ray Allen, Miami Heat, bombed across, hitting down a crucial three down the stretch when it was needed, like things like that. So, yes, and 17 million is not a lot. Like, he ain't at 30 million. We 17. That's a discount.
I feel like if you went to, just for a topic of conversation, if you went to Detroit, I feel like he'd be taking minutes from Duncan. Like, that's why he's there. He just, right now, are you taking Duncan? Because they're not going to be on the court at the same time. Too much of a defensive liability. So they wouldn't be on the court at the same time. So if you have Duncan and Klay right now in current career, I'm not even thinking about taking Klay Thompson over Duncan Robinson.
You gotta have options. Go ahead.
Exactly. Yeah, I was gonna say exactly that. And that's the era I think teams need to look at when they're pursuing Klay, is like, hey, look, like we do want you. There's a need for you here, but there's a need for a bench Klay Thompson and not a starting Klay Thompson, or more of a limited minute kind of thing. Because if that's the case, and I know I don't like bringing up the Lakers a lot because it just seems like, I don't know, I can never figure out what pieces they actually need, and if it ends up fucking working. Like, I'm the same guy that told you at the beginning of the year, put Brown on the bench. So, like, this doesn't necessarily make sense in terms of my take, but I do think, like, when you look at things that could help the Lakers and things that they've struggled with, they got really good production this year from AR, from a wing perspective. You got Luka, who can hit it from deep, but then everyone else outside of LeBron just kind of like fumbled the bag this year, and so don't really have a three presence. I do think that's where implementing Klay into the LA system, I don't mean to push the exciting whites more, but that'd be exciting white and a half, right? I like what Klay could do from them, and that pushes, to be fair, I will say this about Klay. To be fair, he still shoots like 38, 39% from three. So he's going to have some type of gravitational pull towards him, which is going to free up, making obviously life a lot easier for AR and Luka and even Bron itself. So that could be a nice destination. But again, the conversation has to be, look, you're going to come off the bench. It's going to be a little bit more restricted role, but you can still play and we'll still pay you. That could work for teams. Even I know they're heavy, but even fucking OKC could absolve that contract with like that and have him, play restricted minutes. I know they got obviously J-Dub. Now they got what's homeboy's name from Philly?
The dancer,
Jared McCain. Jared McCain, right? Klay, they would talking about pushing the talent. They can get him cheap, basically for nothing.
And that's where your thing said, Chris, the young player will actually uplift him in that round.
For sure. Let me ask you this. You're in the playoffs. You are the Detroit Pistons. And you're playing, we'll go with the Knicks. Since we have so many people on our panel that love the Knicks. We'll go with the Knicks, right? You're in the playoffs. It's a 7-game series. Cade is on the floor. Jalen Duren is on the floor. I guess Thompson and whoever else, right?
Okay.
If Duncan is in the corner versus Klay in the corner in a 7-game series, which one are you more frightened of?
Iguodala. Okay. I think
I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay. You said, see, this is what changes for me, because you this isn't a regular game, right? This is a 7-game series in the playoffs.
There you go.
I think I am more scared of Klay. I don't even think that's a question. I'm trying to replay it in my head. I'm more scared of Klay.
Like, are we saying like just in comparison or
7-game series
next year or prime Klay versus Duncan
next year?
Robinson?
Next year, 7-game playoff series. You're the Pistons. You're matched up in the Eastern Conference Finals versus the Knicks. It's a 7-game series. This is game 7. I don't know what quarter it is, fourth quarter, whatever it is, but possession is at the end of the day in this game. You got your lineup. You got Cade, you got Jalen, you got Amir Thompson, and whoever else is over there on the forward side. And you Klay or Duncan Robinson in that corner. Cade has the ball. Who you more afraid? If you're the Knicks, you got one possession. You got 3 possessions. The last 2 minutes, the last 5 minutes. Who would you be more afraid of, Duncan Robinson or Klay Thompson in that corner?
I think it's 50-50.
Okay.
The reason that's how Duncan Robinson made his name, by playing on the Heat, by playing big moments, being undrafted, big moments, making the big shot when he was a nobody. So, I mean, Klay Thompson has done it all. Obviously, done it also and won 4 championships with it. But that's how Duncan Robinson made his name. So, like, that's what he's paid for. Like, Klay Thompson is paid for now, a veteran and defense, and being a solid role player in the team. But Duncan Robinson's in the league strictly to shoot. Don't put the ball on the ground. You shoot. So
yeah, I mean, essentially, Klay was that and more. And just for me, I'm with Darion.
I want to say Klay is the better player
because I think that big moment. Don't get me wrong. Duncan did it. Basically, Duncan did it in the bubble, right? That's when he got paid, right? It was off the bubble, right?
Right.
Yeah. Y'all know how I think about Disney, right? I think Disney is for Mickey Mouse, right? So Klay has done it consistently, and it's just the clutch, a big nuts moment, right? Big game, New York. I didn't even tell you what the game was. If the game is in Madison Square Garden, fuck, I gotta
nothing no more. Everybody go off in the Garden. Everybody got their score. They season high in the Garden for whatever reason.
I gotta go with Klay. I'm gonna go with Klay. Where's my shit? I'm gonna go with Klay. One more sound effect. Give me some sound effect.
This is what it comes down to. So, Chris, I mean, you've coached for a very long time. That's part of your persona. So, as a coach, then I think if I'm looking at both sides of it, Duncan Robinson this year, I just looked this up, is shooting over like 40% from deep, right? And shooting 40% from deep on a team that's a 60-win team, right? So he's obviously had a lot of production this year. So I think it comes down to a question of like, are you choosing proven championship DNA, right, over current season form? Like that's
Game
as a coach,
7.
you got to look at that.
I'm saying I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
We play the season. Duncan's getting the minutes. Klay, you the backup. But down the stretch, I believe that coach even. Duncan, you good. Duncan, get your. But I think that coach, hey, Duncan, you look a little tired. Klay, go on and get in there. Because guess what? It's what you said, that gravitational pull.
Mm-hmm.
The respect level for Klay, that whoever's defending Klay, he all the way out there. Ain't no help. I ain't helping. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They defending Duncan Robinson, they're still a little bit, okay, I can cheat, help, and recover. Klay, that guy's like, no, y'all ain't going to let my man over here, have a highlight on me. And guess what? That opens it up for Cade. That spacing. Now Cade gets – it ain't even the fact that Klay's going to get the shot.
Right. He may not even touch the ball.
He may not even touch the ball. Come on, D. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's that gravitational pull that, man, I'm not leaving Klay open. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know Duncan Robinson's not in the same category as who I'm about to say, Knuppel. But if you guys watched that game, you saw that last night. They had him benched for crucial minutes of last night's game because he wasn't performing well, right? Again, he's a rookie. This is new to him. It's kind of, in my opinion, it's kind of to be expected, right? He's had an incredible year, though. But like if Duncan Robinson, who outside of that bubble championship run hasn't been in those moments, then this is where someone like Klay could have came in the game, had that pull, and still helped the Hornets get through. I'm glad they won, by the way. That was insane. But you're going to see moments like that where the championship definitely helps when the people that have been having incredible years all year long suddenly are not having good games in critical moments.
Facts.
I like that, Chris, man. See, yeah, Kyle, get on somewhere, man.
Devil's advocate again. I mean, what did Ray Allen shoot before he made that shot? Wasn't that the same year where he was like?
But he had championship DNA.
Yeah, but I mean, I know, but I'm just saying he was like for a lot. And then
see, and that's a difference though.
That's why he was in the game.
That's why he was still in the game. They would have took Duncan out by now. They took Duncan up. He would have been out. So yeah, you lead the champions in.
In the finals in 2023, he shot 42% against the Lakers.
That's really good.
He shot 42, and then he shot 39% in 2020.
And you say Klay is shooting what right now on a shitty team?
I think it's like 38. Let me check that.
So I don't think it's a good comparison. I don't think it's a good comparison.
He had a very bad year, but I think shooting was
a good comparison of his talent of how we know he is.
Right.
Let's see.
But as one of his worst shooting year,
you still got respect.
Out at
it's somebody's best career year.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so I've never seen that. His field goal percentage, trash. He shot 39% from the field goal, but 3 was still 38, which 38 from deep is still very respectable.
It's good. 38 is good. I mean, we're saying we're awarding someone. I mean, he's a shooter at 40%, and Klay, shitty career, shitty season, and he's at 38%.
Yeah, and that's the only number that's going to matter for his trade value.
Exactly.
Yeah, and all that was for sake of argument. I'm picking Klay, but I'm just saying that there's a good argument.
That's not what you said. That's not what you said.
That's not what you said.
The way Chris broke it down when he was saying, but, championship blood and all that good stuff. Okay, yes, heat of the moment.
We brought you to the side, basically.
It's not the bubble.
Yeah.
I'm easily convinced. It seems like.
Yeah, looking at these numbers now, it's what's concerning to me. Not the field goal percentage, because I know teams are not going to ask him put the ball on the floor, get a basket kind of thing. That's not what they're asking him, Klay. But I didn't realize that his fucking free throw percentage this year was a 76. That is a career low for a 90% free throw shooter.
Wow, Klay is just
that part might be concerning for teams, but good stuff. All right, anything else on Klay? Any other sentiments?
Let's go.
All right, to my fellow light-skinned brother, we wish you the best of luck. That said, teams that are looking, we're basically going from wanting one guy, or trying to push one guy out of a system to another team that's committing long term to a guy that I don't fucking know. Either way, the relationship between Zion,
you gotta be careful. Hey, now, motherfucker, everything is like, goddamn.
Yeah, goddamn it. Zion Williamson and the New York Pelicans, they've been on a hell of a roller coaster since they drafted him. But it does look like, as of right now, the team is ready to double down on that star, right? So despite a season filled with trade rumors, and obviously they had some roster friction this year, and they had some injuries, reports suggest that the Pelicans are still leaning towards stability with him. So they are preparing a 2 to 3 year extension for Zion this summer. Looks like it's going to be worth anywhere between 30 to 35 million per season, which really isn't bad for someone that, has had the dialogue and injuries around him. But at just 25 years old, which is crazy to think about too, he's still relatively young in the league. Zion is actually coming off one of the healthiest seasons yet. So he did hit this year, at least got some key contract milestones that have already boosted his guaranteed salary. So good for him. We love when players get their money. And then while the fit, though, with the new roster additions of like Derek Queen, who was amazing this year, that was questioned. Zion's recent declaration of the New Orleans, that is his home. So obviously there's a desire to make it work there. My question for you guys is 30 to 35 million a year a sweet spot for a player with Zion's talent? Or do you think that's still just a little too risky given the history that you've seen?
You can take that, Murph.
I think it's worth the risk. Because especially with the trajectory that he's going right now, he's been through the backlash of, eating and getting in shape and making sure you focus on the game. And it looks like he's actually starting to implement that into his game now. And when he's on the court, he's dominant. Like he's a freak when he's on the court. So it's hard to trade Zion because like if you trade him, he's going to go crazy somewhere else. He's going to have like a chip on his shoulder that we were talking about, like with Kuminga. So it's just like, I don't think you risk a type of phenomenal player like he is. Like he's a beast. He has every aspect of the game that you want to keep, and he's getting better every year. So with the way he's doing it now, as long as he keeps this money, stays focused, you don't trade him.
Yeah. I mean, you can't trade him. Even if you wanted to trade him, you're the New Orleans Pelicans. You're the New Orleans Pelicans, and you cannot afford to trade him. You might be able to get away with it somewhere else, although as Murphy said, it wouldn't be ideal because he is playing, he is getting better.
Yeah.
But you can't, right? You can't because you can't attract that level of talent in free agency in New Orleans, essentially. And you can't risk having somebody that you drafted being available, still being at that level from a talent standpoint, and then just get rid of him. So,
yeah,
I think it's a product of both. A product of the fact that he is getting better, a product of the fact that he has, he is ultra talented, and the fact that you are the Pelicans and you don't have a whole lot of a choice.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Shit. Yes. Yeah. Something I was looking. I mean, this is my thing, and I guess I'm all about numbers today. I was trying to think what other players at his age of 25 and the scoring output that we talked about when we looked at this is is that actually a bargain? And then I'm like, okay, who else was in his draft class, right? So you remember that was Ja and Darius Garland, and I was like, how much did they make, right? And it's like they're locked in for I think it might just be Ja, but $42 million for 2026, 2027, right? So you're looking at Zion at $30 million range, 35 million. You're essentially paying high level starter money, or I guess, high level starter money, I would say, second option money. You could look at that like that for superstar potential and production. And so that's a massive bargain and win for them if they do lock that, if that deal is actually signed, which it looks like it will be. So that's crazy to me. And again, he's 25, he's still young. So that puts him in a category of is K 25? K's around that age, right? 25.
Yeah.
Evan Mobley, I think Evan Mobley's around that age too. And I think they're on the $50 million mark. So I don't know. I like it a lot for the Pelicans because you're essentially getting a bargain on him for sure.
For sure.
That works.
Because I ain't seen a wild stuff in a while. Is he, if healthy and fully and playing like we hope he plays, is he comparable to LeBron? Talent.
Wait, what?
Talent wise, strictly talent, not IQ, not anything, just frame, athleticism, stature.
I don't want to compare him to LeBron. I really don't. I don't want to compare him really to anybody, right? Because he has the downhill force of Giannis, but he doesn't have the size. He can shoot fairly well.
He got the size.
He doesn't have the vision like LeBron or the IQ. So Bron's take him out. That's something totally different.
That's what I was saying.
I don't really see.
Bron's a freak.
I don't see anyone. Yeah, I don't see anyone like Zion, which was one of the reasons I really like him. So I don't know. I do think though, if he continues to grow in this 1 year because he played 62 games, let's say next year he plays 65, maybe 66, and he plays at the rate that he's playing this year, he really could be
up there with the best in the league.
Yeah. You think he could be All NBA second team?
Yes. I mean, I think he's talented enough to be first team, but to shoot up that much in 1 year, I think he's talented enough. He's talented enough to have first team. What does he lack?
To be there, to be on those teams, I think your team would have to showcase in your team record too. And I don't see the Pelicans fucking coming close to that.
Derek Queen's a goat.
I mean, everybody have a hell of a turnaround.
Hey, Detroit has set a new
Thank you. Yes. Because what the fuck?
A new standard, man.
Hey, man, Joe better call down to Detroit and figure out what's going on if that's the case.
You're watching that block on Kelly Oubre. Yeah, he has the defense. Jesus, he can finish up. Jesus,
he'll finish. He's a capable shooter, and that's on beef stew too. Get on my way, little boy.
Right. Right. No, the highlights are crazy. Like, he is a freak, period. He is a freak of nature. And you can't find that. Zion doesn't come around. I mean, that's a generational size talent. Like, I'm like Larry Johnson, Charles Barkley, but none of these guys had this level of crazy athleticism and size. Yeah, he's one of one for sure. And I love the point that you made, Darian, about getting him for cheap. Like, that 30 man, I hadn't even tapped in on that. Like, that number across the board in the league today, that is cheap. That is a second option number for sure.
Yeah. It's also crazy. He's what? Is he 6'8" or 6'7"?
I thought he was 6'9".
No, I think he's legitimate 6'7", 6'8" for sure. Definitely not 6'9".
Yeah, see, because and this is always crazy to me just to think about when I start looking at like other players, because we're saying at 6'8", he's a freak of nature athlete, which he is. But then like think about what Dwight Howard was doing. He's 6'6".
That's what Kobe was.
That's what Kobe was. Jordan, yeah. I think Klay is 6'5". Since we were just on Klay. Yeah, he's a freak of nature. Okay, so then staying on the Pelicans, if you are the GM, right, what is one move? And Chris, I know you said you got to do a shit ton turn around. What is one move that you would kind of make this offseason to make sure, one, that you're pairing someone with Zion to get the potential? I know last year they kind of went with a Jordan Poole, which crazy enough he ended up getting a lot of DNPs this year, so that clearly didn't work out. And before the year before that, they went with what's homeboy we like that came out the Spurs and was on the Hawks.
Oh, Dejounte Murray.
Murray. Yeah, he obviously got injured, came back this year. Who else are you guys looking at? What kind of moves are you making?
I'm not. Y'all can figure out the players, but it ain't a one move. It ain't no once to one move. It's moves, right? But they have to prioritize spaced shooting so that Zion can be Zion. So you got to have spacing. You got to have like shooters. Shit, consider a guy like Klay. You know what I mean? Like, you got to have some space shooters, right? For cheap, or some really good ones that can go both sides. But you got to have the shooting. You still need a true playmaker. You need the Zion point, Zion, whatever you want to call it, position, power forward. I don't love that. So I think you need some type of a playmaker so you can take the ball out of his hands, but then also have the tempo, somebody that this is going to sound crazy, but a veteran true point-ish, because the true point is dead, but a true point-ish, at least someone with the characteristics of a true point guard. I think that could be very important and can play well. And then really, really good shooting and spacing. And then lastly, and it's still more, but lastly, defensive versatility at the 5.
Yes. Yep. I know Joe Dumars talked about that, actually. Yeah, I was going to say that too. Yeah. Yeah, he said they needed some toughness at the 5 spot because neither Zion nor Queen could protect the rim. Right. So yeah, I like that. I was actually going to go with someone that could also space the floor too at the 5 spots. So I was thinking, like, I know we always kind of clown him a little bit for not being able to get boards at his size, but I do think if they could trade up for like a Miles Turner, that could probably help with the 5 spot. Yeah, I do like that. Okay, so Chris says PG, locked in on that. We agree on a 5. Kyle, what you think?
My pick was going to be Miles Turner to stretch the floor and be a defensive spot. But my who I would like to see paired together, which would never happen, is LaMelo Ball. Like, I would like to see them. I would like to see them together.
It'd be fun.
It'd be fun. I mean, because like he's an elite passer, he can shoot. He's an efficient player. Like he runs, he pushes the ball up up the court. So it's like, you know, it would be fun to watch. Now, how would that work? I don't know, Chris. You could tell me, but I think it would be a great pairing for them because it'd just be fun to watch. But realistically, Miles Turner.
But you know, it's crazy, Murph. Miles Turner checked 2 boxes because he can be at the 5, right? And then he also can help stretch the floor. So that's great. But DeMelo, let's go back to that. It's crazy. I would almost run with that because look at this. The bottom line, winning is important, but your team's bottom line is also important. Yeah. You get LaMelo there with Zion, that fucking gym is packed.
Yes.
Yeah. Where are my sound effects?
I know, slacking.
Yeah, slacking on the sound effect. Right. Yeah, you get Melo and Zion, the creativity, the passing, the lobs, the dunks. You would basically have like a version of Lob City. You know what I mean? In
New Orleans.
In New Orleans, right? That would be that could be really, 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 really good. And it would be, I mean, the city would be bumping. Like fans would be in there, city would be bumping, super fun to watch. And I think they win some games. I don't know at what level, but definitely win some games.
They go 41-41. But that would be the most exciting 41-41 you would see that year.
Exactly.
It'd be like every night.
Yeah, I would go.
It would be entertaining.
Yeah.
Who
wants to address this?
No, I was just saying LaMelo's playground basketball and Zion's just efficiency would be crazy.
Right.
Who wants to address this? Zion is now 10 years in the game. Definitely not a generational talent at this point, but a solid player, kind of like Blake Griffin in Detroit, is going to be his peak from now. Good pod so far, though. Well, appreciate the last sentiment. Definitely thank you for locking in and commenting. Glad you enjoyed the pod. Any comments on that comparison, though?
I think that's fair. I think it's fair. Very fair. It's funny because guys start off as super talent, super all-stars, and we're like, yes, this guy is incredible, and we build him up. Yeah. And if they don't win a ring, we're like, or if they go out with injuries, right? Yeah, right. Facts. So it's like, at one point, Blake Griffin was fucking incredible, right? Talking to town, a face of the league. And then how things played out for him in the end, Lob City went away, and then they just were all traded off for nothing. So it's like we forget about when they were at their peak. That's a great comparison, I think.
Yeah, but you know what? It's not a knock either. I know when people say that, they might think, oh, Blake Griffin in Detroit. If you guys remember Blake Griffin in Detroit, though, that was an all NBA third team player. Like, he was nice in Detroit. So I do like that comparison a lot.
I mean, when he was in Detroit, he wasn't the high flyer Blake Griffin. He was more
no.
So that's why I feel like I think his peak is a little higher than that, because even though Blake Griffin played so well when he was in Detroit, I think he was still on a decline at that point. So I wouldn't compare him to Blake Griffin. I see where you're going, but I wouldn't compare him to Blake Griffin in Detroit. I don't even know who to compare him to, but I just wouldn't say Blake Griffin in Detroit.
Yeah. Okay.
I ain't mad at
you. All right. Hey, look. Is that it?
We got one more.
Hold on. I mean, that's not it, but I grab one topic. All right. Hey, look, it's 9:00 on the dot. We got one more thing for you guys. Again, thank you for tuning in and locking in with us. We always love it. We enjoy it. Keep the comments coming. That said, I'm going to close this out with something that I'm excited about, because I think we'll all kind of maybe go in different directions with maybe one or two players. So everybody on the panel right now, Chris, Kyle, Darian, let's all choose out of the eligible players, please. I don't want nobody throwing in some names that aren't even eligible, right? No fairy tales around here. Let's make our all NBA first teams.
Wilt Chamberlain.
2026 active players. Let's make our all NBA first team. Kyle, you go first. Who's your first team?
First team. Uh, uh, just because I stand business, I'm going with Joker. Just all five, or
All five.
who
Yes.
I'm picking, or are we doing like
All five. All five. All five.
Oh, so shit. I'm going with Joker. I'm going with full list of eligible players. Joker, Wemby, SGA, Jaylen Brown. I'm going with the first four, and who's my fifth? Shit, Cat. I'm going with the first four.
I'm sorry. Did you just spit out a name? You just spit out a random name, or like you had some thought behind that? Like Cat deserves to be first team.
No, he plays for the Knicks. So I just gotta give him some love. But,
I didn't know that's I'm going SGA, Wemby, Jokic. I am going Jaylen Brown, but I'm actually taking Kawhi at that fifth spot.
I was thinking about him. I almost threw Denny Avdia in there just because he cooked last night.
Wow. All right. Who? You said who? Wemby out?
Don't listen. Don't know. He said
Denny
from Portland, number 17 on the list.
What's wrong with that?
Why would he be all NBA first team?
Why wouldn't he be? Look at his numbers. He brought him to the playoffs.
Hey, look, if we're going off Chris's argument that he put on Jokic, yeah, good numbers, but there's other people doing it, if not the same, but better. So that's stupid big go.
Are they going to go anywhere in the playoffs? Nah, but
all right, my first team. Playoffs. My first team, I'm going Shea, Victor Wembanyama. I'm gonna take Jokic. I'm definitely taking my guy Jaylen Brown, but my fifth, I am going Jalen Duren. I'm going with two guys off the Pistons. Oh, well, because K can't make it, I'm going with Duren.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Okay, we'll make sure our graphic is done for our picks. Kyle, I just want to make sure, are you taking Denny or Cat for your fifth?
Right.
All right. Because I know the first four are a lot. I'm picking, be honest, I'm picking Jalen Brunson. I'll pick Jalen Brunson. Oh, that's a real pick. That's a real pick.
That's a real pick. All right, you have it on record. All right. Any closing remarks, fellas? Cool.
We're just praying for Dick. Just staying with that sentiment, praying for Dickie B, for sure.
Yes, sir. All right. Again, thank you everyone for joining today and watching. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, your girlfriend, whoever you got in your life, your guy friend. We don't discriminate. With that being said, we'll see you guys bright and early Friday morning. Thank you again.